Hey everyone, welcome to another LEGO fan video. I'm your host LEGO fan and I do fun LEGO videos. I have about 10 steps video as well as some Ben 10 videos. So today we will be clearly covering the rest of the Ben 10 villains. These are the ones that go from the gauntlet all the way up until X equals Ben plus 2, up to and including X equals Ben plus 2. And I should have noted in my previous video that Ship, Helen, and Manny will not be counted as villains as they were acting in the best interests. Maybe just not in the best ways. So I gotta get going. So if you guys are new, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that YouTube algorithm stuff. And if you guys are new to this, well, I run this as a quiz show. I'll play the first lines, and you have 10 seconds to guess which one of the characters said that line. If they don't have a first line, I'll just give the name, and you have 10 seconds to guess which of these characters are the one are said person. I won't be saying if there are multiple forms of it, because let's keep it a mystery. So let's get started. I have no idea what is up. So the first one up is a brand new villain from a Sotoragian named 7-7. So which one of these is 7-7? 10 seconds, good luck. So 7-7 is this one right here. He is a Sotoragian. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Like 6-6. Who first appeared in X equals Ben plus 2, hired by an unnamed person, we still don't know who, to kidnap Princess Atea and demand a ransom for her if not delivered. Melanius is like, alright, just hand the funds over and go on the way. But Atea paid double that bounty, which honestly, we don't even know how much that is. It's like a mystery price. But the fact that she paid double kind of shows that it's a lot of money. To overthrow Melius and succeeded, and he sort of became her bodyguard. But after taking a hit from Swampfire, he ran away screaming because his armor broke. And, well, afterwards we don't know what happened. He just ran away and we never heard from him again. So, like 6-6, he is a bounty hunter and has all sorts of gadgets like energy saws, radios, smoke bombs, and robotic tentacles that can fire lasers. Unlike 6-6, rather than just having this suit of armor, it also doubles as the fact that he can morph his hand into a gun that can either rapid fire laser shots or just do one single blast. Like 6-6, he can also fly and is somewhat fast. He also is a skilled fighter and clearly has armor, but it can be said that he is a coward since after one hit from Swampfire, he just decided to bolt for the door. Our next villain up was also introduced in the same episode as 7-7. In fact, there were 5 villains introduced in that episode alone. Yeah, 5. And this is this guy's first line. To me, my major domo. Which one of these guys said that line? 10 seconds, good luck. So this guy was Emperor Milius. He is an incursion who first appeared in X equals Ben plus 2, being the leader of the incursions and father to Princess Atea, who was kidnapped by 7-7, and, well, he was not happy. And after finding out about this, ordered Raph to try and find her, and threatened to blow up the entire Earth if said Atea is not returned. And he almost did succeed with this plan, as he did blow up Pluto to just show that he does mean that he will do it. But he then got overthrown by Atreya and thrown in a dungeon. By some unknown means, he managed to escape and held her at gunpoint and said fun's over, Atreya, and locked her up in the dungeon, resuming his title and leaving Earth alone, with the whole gang just returning back to Earth, and he just left. So he is the leader of the incursions and has full control over its army and the incursion's ship that they live on, since, well, they don't have a homeworld. But we haven't discovered that yet. He also has a disintegrate beam that he controls with his throne. By pushing the button, he can send out a beam that obliterates anyone. And he is also a warlord, said to have destroyed numerous galaxies before we actually see him. And he could teleport on and off his ship, though we haven't seen that, but it's indicated that since everyone else can, why not him? He also has a radio to communicate with other planets, though this radio operates on light waves, which Earth does not have. 77 does, and that's what I meant by radio. So he can also speak Sotolagian, which is the language that 77 speaks, and has a planet-destroying laser that can literally blow up entire planets. He's also very smart, has a laser gun, and has an enhanced jump. Oh, by the way, this little box here is the button that controls the laser. But he is slower than normal incursions, and could be overthrown easily with enough force. He also has a very sensitive nose, meaning that they are very sensitive to strong smells. The next villain up is actually a very recurrent enemy of Ben 10, and this is its first line. So, of these remaining villains that we have here, which one said that line? 10 seconds, good luck. So that villain was Princess Atreya. Yes, villain. Trust me, she's more wicked than she seems. I honestly want to know how old she is in Alien Force. I don't think they ever said. But she is an incursion first appeared in X equals Ben plus 2. X equals Ben plus 2. Who was kidnapped by 77 and put at ransom by some unknown person. But by some unknown means, she escaped by a ship. Destroyed ship, but ship nonetheless, and managed to fight against 77, landing near a dam on Earth. And due to thanks to Alien X's interference, she managed to survive, but was recaptured by 77. And despite this setback, she actually managed to pay double the ransom that 77 was promised in order to overthrow Milius, and she took control of the throne for a brief time, threatening to still blow up the Earth, but so that way it's a show of force. Because new Emperor, you gotta show some force. And kept Ben and the crew locked up as a sort of zoo. But she was beat by her father and was locked in the dungeon. So, as I said, due to the fact that she is Emperor, she had all the abilities of Emperor Milius, which was full control over the army, a disintegrate beam, control over the Incursion ship, a planet destroying laser, which she's holding right there, and yeah. She also has her own little ship that she can control and operate, and some control over the incursions even without the Emperor title. She also has an enhanced jump, is a skilled fighter, is smart, and fast. But, like Milius, she has a sensitive nose. Okay, let's get away from the incursions, X equals Ben plus 2 villains, and let's move on into a villain that actually doesn't have any first line, that being the Tekkadan robots. So, of these remaining villains, which one is the Tekadon robot? 10 seconds, good luck. So the Tekadon robot is this guy right here. So it's an alien robot who first appeared in the Gauntlet, one fighting Ben and the gang in a warehouse where it was eventually destroyed by Goop, blowing it up with the only part surviving being its right hand. And once it was put out of Cash, it attempted to take control of him and by merging with him, but it failed and was taken off of Cash. It is unknown where that hand actually disappeared to, but it's assumed that it was probably locked up. So it can fire lasers out of either its fingers or its palm. The palm attack is a little bit stronger, and it has enhanced strength, which is strong enough to break through Kevin's transformation and Gwen's mana shields. It also has it's also very tough. It has enhanced durability and very smart too, being able to adapt to any situation it's in. It can also regenerate any lost limbs and merge with humans, possessing them in the process. And it can still maintain consciousness even if one part still remains. But its regen and its merge are a slow process and it takes time in order to do it, which Goop took advantage of. And if it is merging with the person can still fight back so long as it's not a full-on Tekadon. The next villain up is actually a really interesting villain, but I never really liked the group to begin with. One of my least favorite of the recurring villains. And this is this guy's first line. That's it. So, of these, which one said that line? 10 seconds, good luck. So that was the villain known as Sir Connor, or just Connor. And that's this guy right here. So, he is a human first appearing in Be United assigned by Patrick to kill the dragon with a quantum disassembler cannon. There's its actual name. But it failed to kill it in the dungeon and the dragon escaped. And undeterred, he decided to chase after it with some reluctant help from Ben and the gang, along with Squire. But he also failed there, and the dragon was launched into space, getting away in the process. He returned with the unfortunate news saying the dragon escaped and the Forever Knights should disband because there's no reason for them. So as I said, there are multiple factions of Forever Knights. So we already got introduced to Enoch and Driscoll's. Now we have Patrick's. We're also going to get introduced to like 3 more roughly. You'll see as we go along. So after saying this, Patrick's like, "No, there's a whole planet full of dragons out there. You did succeed. You didn't fail. You succeeded." And threatened and essentially waged war on the planet, though we never get to see this. And essentially now wants revenge on Ben for helping the dragon escape. And Connor rejoined the Forever Knights. So he is considered the greatest warrior of all of the Forever Knights and is a really good fighter. He also looks to be somewhat strong. I couldn't get a full body shot, but let me tell you, this guy's beefy. He also has knowledge on alien tech and how to use it, and is considered to be the bravest of the knights, the most loyal. He's like essentially the perfect warrior, so to speak, for the Forever Knights. He's also loyal to Patrick and the Knights and is seldom seen without any armor. He was also equipped with that quantum disassembler cannon, which is what he's holding in this picture, and Be United, and does lead a small army of Forever Knights. However, he is very headstrong and single-minded on only one goal, not quit until said goal is done, which often leads to him refusing help from others even if said help is needed. and like any human, he lacks any unique abilities of his own. On to the next villain, whose first line is,
"The Forever Knights have existed 1,000 years with but a single goal. Tonight, we stand on the brink of triumph."
So, of these, which villain said that? 10 seconds, good luck. So, that was the villain known as King Patrick, one of our third faction of the Forever Knights we have been introduced to, the other ones being Enoch and Driscoll, like I said. So he is a human first appearing at B-Night, being the leader of one of the factions of the Forever Knights, dedicated to hunting and killing the alien species known simply as the dragons in the series. So we don't know Enoch's true goal, but they all essentially follow one single goal from George, which is to kill the Dagon. You can see the pronunciation issues here. and they actually built their base on top of one of the dragon species that they locked up in the castle for 1,500 years. How they managed to do that is a complete mystery. And hired Sir Kai to try and kill it, but he failed and came back empty-handed, revealing that there's a whole plan of them. Patrick then said that we are officially going to go to war with these people and hunt down Ben and the crew for helping. So, due to being the king of a faction of the Forever Knights, he does lead a small army of them, but it's probably the biggest of the 6 factions that we get introduced to. The only other 2 right now is Enoch and Driscoll. And he also has knowledge on alien tech and how to use it, as well as some modern tech. But, like any human, he lacks any unique powers of his own, and is also probably the oldest king of the Forever Knights, next to, of course, George, who is maybe 2,500 years old, 1,500? I don't know, somewhere over the thousands. No, I am not exaggerating that. Our next villain up has his first line as, ignore that last part. And of these, which villain said that? 10 seconds, good luck. As I stated before, I'm not going to mention if there is multiple versions of a villain. This one is one of the 2 villains that I have on here that does have multiple forms. This is the Transdimensional Monster, also known as Hugo. We have Hugo as an old man. This is how he actually looks. We also have Hugo as a young lab assistant here. And then we have the villain form of the Transdimensional Monster. So he is a human first appearing in Paradox, who, like Professor Paradox, was sucked into the Cryologger, but instead of being stuck in the time vortex and going through the whole thing, he got zapped to the present day as the Transdimensional Monster. Unaware of what he was, he tried to escape, though slowly died by any means necessary, not aware of the damage that he was actually causing. But he was stopped after Ben saved Hugo in the past, which wiped the monster from existence, instead having an old Hugo in its place. This old Hugo then traveled with Paradox through the portal that was formed by Paradox, never to be seen again because we actually don't get to see Hugo again. So, as I said, he's the lab assistant to Paradox, so he too is a very smart scientist. And as the Transdimensional Monster, the Transdimensional Monster is probably one of Ben's most powerful one-off villains. One-off villains being the fact that they only appear and are defeated in one episode. So as this Transdimensional Monster, he has increased speed and durability, which is able to keep up with Kevin's car and knock over buildings with no scratches. He also ages anything he touches that includes the ground. And he can extend his hands to extend this aged ability. He also is immune to energy attacks being too fast for any energy attacks to actually hit him. But he can't age anything that ages slowly. Like, let's say, you could toss a bunch of gumballs at him, for example. Or anyone that doesn't age a lot, like Paradox. So this will be able to slow him down. And he leaves trails wherever he walks, so I don't recommend chasing this thing down anytime soon. As I said, he's probably one of the most powerful of the one-off Ben 10 villains. And you can see why. Now we're getting into another villain, whose first line is...
Whoops. Hey, JT. Looks like somebody had an accident. Yeah.
Of these, which villain said that? 10 seconds, good luck. So this is the villain known as Cash, who has 4 forms on here. You have him in the debut episode, where he's wearing a soccer jersey. And then you got him in a red shirt that was shown in the gauntlet. You have him wearing the gauntlet almost fully merged as a Tekadon. And then you have him pretty much 99% Tekadon. So he's a human in Gauntlet. He's kind of part robot, who first appears in Bedtime Returns Part 1, making a cameo appearance in the first scene, being one of the opposing team members. Then in the Gauntlet, he once again started teasing Ben, but Ben stood up to him and stood his ground. And after being humiliated like that, with the help of JT, he decided to push Kevin's car off the road and ran off. And after getting the hand of the Tekadon Roa, he decided to put it on and start becoming the Tekadon, single-mindedly focused on getting revenge on Ben. But he managed to fight off the Tekadon and walked away with JT at the end of the episode. So he's a good baseball and soccer player as well as a good team player, and he can be somewhat aggressive and is semi-strong, at least strong enough to push Kevin's car with help. And when he had the hand of the Tekadon Roa, he could shoot lasers out of his fingers or the palm of his hand. He also became more aggressive, more agile, and more durable. He also gained a super jump, got very strong, and became a very good fighter. I mean, he roundhouse kicked a chair that was thrown at him. That's pretty impressive. But he often could be very arrogant, is not that smart, and he often acts childish and immature. On to the next villain, whose first line is...
Commander Wrath.
that. Of these remaining villains, which one said that? 10 seconds, good luck. So that was the Incursions. They are, Incursions first appeared in X equals Ben plus 2, being a warmonger species living for war and was sent to Earth to try and find Atea by order of Emperor Milius with Commander Wrath. And later they locked him up by orders of Atea. After Milius got out, they once again switched loyalty and locked Atea in a dungeon before leaving with Milius. So they are an army, therefore they are pretty numerous and are expert fighters, being a warmonger and empire and all. They also are equipped with laser guns, have a super jump, are loyal to the throne of the Incursion Empire, and can teleport on and off the ship. They also take orders from Wrath. But they have an enhanced sense of smell, so they are very sensitive to smells. And as said, they are loyal to the throne, not to whoever is on it. So if said person is overthrown, they'll quickly be like, F you, you're out of here, we're loyal to this person now. This next villain I was actually considering whether or not to actually include as a villain, whose first line is...
No, it's all true. Everyone thinks dragons are creatures of myth, fiction. But they're real, Ben. At least one was. And is. Did you say?
So of these, which villain said that? 10 seconds. Good luck. So this villain, as I said, I was debating whether to include or not. This is a villain just simply known as Squire. He's a human who first appeared in B9, being one loyal to the king. He was next to him when the dragon broke free and managed to actually save King Patrick. Afterwards, he recruited Ben to help kill the dragon, much to Connor's annoyance, and tagged along with Ben for the rest of the episode, giving Ben the location as to where the dragon will be heading after the fight with the dragon. And he was ashamed when war was declared on the dragon species, which is why I was debating whether to actually include him as a villain or an ally. I decided to go with villain only because he is loyal to the Forever Knights, loyal to a fault with the king and the Forever Knights, even if he does disapprove of what they do. He also has knowledge on modern tech and how to operate, as well as knowledge on alien tech. And while he is loyal, he gets scared easily and could give away a lot of secrets if he's intimidated. And like any human, he lacks any unique abilities of his own. Now on to the last villain, whose first line is,
You're on the Royal Guard detail. Right.
do you know what this villain's name is? 10 seconds. Good luck. So this is Raph. He's a Silenoid, first appearing in X equals Ben plus 2, hired by Milius to track down 7-7, being the right-hand man to Milius. And that was done so that way he could save Atea from his clutches and travel to Earth to meet up with Kevin to see if he could help, because he knows that Kevin will be able to help. And with some help, they managed to locate the princess, only for her to be recaptured and later take control. And like the Incursions, he quickly switched sides and chased back when Milius was put back in charge and left with him. So he is the commander of the Incursions, being the second in command next to Emperor Milius or whoever is on the throne. He can teleport on and off the ship, can levitate, and is his way of walking, and he can also speak Sotaragian. But he is fearful of the throne's power, or whoever is in charge of it, and can be said that he is a coward. And that's all in terms of villains for Season 1. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. We'll be starting Allies next time. So long.